Hi there. This video and the accompanying written guide are intended for intermediate to advanced players. If you're more of a beginner, or if it's your first league playing SSF, a general rule of thumb would be to use NeverSync's semi-strict filter and edit it from there as you learn more about what you want and don't want to see. This guide isn't designed to be this is the correct or best way to play. It's designed to give you a perspective of how another person that has played several SSF leagues does it, and you can pick and choose what you like to incorporate into your own game experience. I wish there were more videos like that, and that's why I'm making this one. By default, my choices will reflect only playing one character, but I'll include some options for those who intend to play multiple characters, as many players tend to pick a starter build and then pivot to something else based on what drops. So I use the NeverSync semi-strict filter as my base, and I edit it as my character progresses. And when I reach maps, I take a few minutes to tighten up my filter so that I'm only seeing things that I want to pick up. I hide wisdom scrolls. You can buy these with transmutes and whetstones. I hide portal scrolls, which may be controversial. I like to hold the Alt key after killing bosses, metamorphs, strong boxes, delve nodes, alva incursions, and any other encounter that produces a lot of loot at one time, and just grab one or two portal scrolls here and there. If you still need more, they can be bought for 3 wisdom scrolls, which means your transmutes are essentially 1 portal and 1 wisdom scroll each. I hide all low-tier Harbinger shards except for Horizon shards. I also hide armorer scraps, since they can be bought for blacksmith's whetstones, which are more valuable because they can buy wisdom scrolls, armorer scraps, and glassblower's baubles. I'll usually stop picking up whetstones when I have 800 to 1,000 of them. I leave augmentations shown until I have a few of them, and then I hide them, unless I know that I'm going to need a lot of them for some reason. You can buy them for 4 transmutes each. I move any low-tier catalysts into high tier 3, where they will make a sound. You want to pick all of them up to 3-for-1 them to vendors. I move the silver coin into the tier with the purple appearance and change the minimap icon to a purple circle instead of a black one as an aesthetic choice. I add any relevant chancing bases and clean up the chromatic recipe section, showing only 1x3 items, though you can add 2x2 if you anticipate needing a lot of chromatics early on. And so the way to change this is to reduce this to 3, and it will only show 1x3 items. I usually hide any skill gem under 14% quality, though this is a matter of taste. I want to see less on the screen. For the bauble recipe, I'll show 20% flasks and nothing less. This also gets removed when I have a good supply. Next up, it's time to filter rare items. I don't do the chaos recipe in SSF, so my choices reflect this. I like to only see items that I would ID and possibly use. I hide by armor type, removing bases that don't fit the defenses of my build. For example, on the screen you see that pure energy shield, pure evasion, and energy shield evasion bases are hidden in this filter, showing only armor evasion, and armor energy shield bases. Don't do this if you intend on playing multiple characters, or a nice compromise between the two methods would be to only show tier 1 bases for rares that don't fit your build. I do the same thing for non-armor items by hiding by item slot, removing things like bows, quivers, staves, two-handed weapons, or whatever I'm not currently interested in. Again, you could just show tier 1 bases for these other rares if you want to store some away for other options for future characters. And one thing I like to do if I'm not already playing a spellcaster is to show all wands for quite a while. They're compact in your inventory to vendor for alteration shards, and if you find something nice, you can stash it away for another character. Things like +1 skill gems, high spell damage, damage as extra chaos damage, and high mana rolls are all desirable for caster wands. I show all jewelry and belts and I never hide them. Alteration orbs are important all league long, and picking up small rares is the best way to accumulate them. I then visit the high-level crafting section and make some changes to reduce clutter. I'll usually add an Astral Plate, Sadist Garb, and Val Regalia to my extreme value bases, since these are prime targets to slam with a Conqueror's Exalted Orb. If you have an item base that needs to be level 86 plus, put it here. I remove these items when I get one or two of them. I make changes to special base types based on what I want to see. These are really nice to use a chance orb on. I also modify the common base types to make sure that I'm not seeing a bunch of item bases that I'm not going to craft on. I show all utility flasks until I have 2 or 3 of each. Some of them are especially useful for bossing. I like to have about 5 or 6 Divine Life flasks and a few Eternal Mana flasks. As I acquire these, I filter them out. I show all uniques in SSF, since they vendor for alchemy shards. For divination cards, I suggest showing all of them, unless you know what you're doing. Once you have a good handle on what the rewards are, you can start hiding certain ones based on what you need. One thing I like to do is move Destined to Crumble out of the lowest tier. You can receive a very desirable armor base from this card, like an Astral Plate, Val Regalia, or Sadist Garb. And it's a matter of preference, but I hide the Reign of Chaos card. The thought of picking up 8 cards for a Chaos Orb drives me insane. I tend to go through and start filtering out prophecies about 4 weeks into a league, or sooner, depending on how much game time I've put in. Once I've completed the Pale Court chains, I'll hide anything that's not the 5th step in its respective chain. I'll also take a look at undesirable chains like Thaumaturgical History and remove those as well. Again, experience and research helps here. Once I have a good base of magic jewels to craft on for my build, I'll start hiding them. I tend to show rare jewels because they're small and easy to vendor. Once I get into the final tiers of maps and atlas progression, I'll start hiding low tier maps, though this can be undesirable if you intend to level several characters through mapping. I hope this has given you some ideas to use moving forward in your gameplay. Good luck, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions in the comments. Take care.